Hello, darling.
So what we did this week is just kind of started settling into Savannah's place and going through the rest of our stuff and just kind of trying to dump some more things that we're just not going to use, give them away, and trying to deal with Tula and Martin.
And Jack for a little while.
Jack, yeah. Because it was not fun for Savannah when we had to leave them here with her for a few days before we actually got here.
Tula Martin and Jack are there. It's like we talked about it before, but there's two of them. Martin and Tula are similar cats. They run. They like to kind of like fight, and just they're very active. Where Jack is
rambunctious.
Yeah, Jack is not like that. He runs, he hides, and he complains. If somebody's being too rambunctious, he complains. So this week, I went ahead and took him over to my good friend's house to get him acclimated with her cats because her cats are also older. Jack is the oldest of the bunch. So we're hoping that they are going to integrate well. And I've already had some videos from them. There's no fighting. There's no, there's some complaining, but there's no fighting. And it already seems like they can be in the same area. Same area.
Like, what's up?
Tula, right here. Tula, she is a big meanie and she causes a lot of fights.
She's a bully.
She is a bully. She caused a lot of fights, and she was the source of Jack's anxiety.
But also, it's because she's been the only child.
Yes.
For a while.
Yeah. Mom and Dad went from 3 kids to just having their only child, Tula. So that has been a thing. It was a little emotional.
I know he's gonna be fine. I know, he's not gonna have a bad time. And yet I'm still like grieving.
It was a little emotional having Jack go over to his new home, but I know that he's going to be very well taken care of. And, I set him up for success with all of his stuff that he likes. And he has a whole room to himself so he can acclimate into the family. So I think it's going really well.
I agree. Because he started out with us in the RV with Tula, and she abused him badly. And I was glad that he was able to come here. But when we decided to go to Thailand, we really knew that with his age and he has some medical issues and things like that, it just wasn't going to be a good trip for him. So we really struggled trying to decide, well, what are we going to do with Jack? And I'm glad Savannah was able to find a place where I think he's going to fit in much better. He needs some more laid back kitties than these ones that are so rambunctious. And, it's okay if they chase each other and fight because it's not really fighting. It's play because they're younger cats.
Even Martin and Jack, when they play, Martin will get very, very excited and he'll jump. And then Jack didn't like that at all. He did not like being jumped on. He would yell pretty much. He didn't play even like Jack wanted to play. So that was one of those things where it was like they are getting along because Martin is very chill and Martin loves everybody. But it wasn't exactly what Jack needed in a family. So,
but then once Jack went to his new home, the atmosphere between Tula and Martin, it seems like it just did a complete move around. It just, what is it? A 180 or?
Yeah, it is completely different. Yeah. It's a lot chiller.
Now, I will admit, when we talked to the vet, we talked about giving her the medication gabapentin, which is going to be for both of them when they fly to keep them relaxed. But we started her out on a half dose like every 12 hours, and she was a little loopy, but it really has calmed her down a lot. I mean, to where she's, even if she is getting along with Martin, if he was to walk by and she just wasn't, feeling it, she would just reach out and smack him. And I think that's really, changed her. Maybe she was anxious as well.
It's very obvious when we watch them interact with each other that Martin wants to be friends. Mm-hmm. He wants to be friends so bad. He puts his paws out, he lays on his back and, shows his belly. He's like, look how non-threatening I am.
Right.
He just wants to be friends. And Tula just isn't very accepting of that. But the medicine has actually helped a little bit, made her a lot calmer.
And we've actually, like last night, we gave them some treats and they were like nose to nose eating treats. And then later they sat here on the floor, and although there was space between them, he rolled over. He was, just being Martin.
Just being cute.
Yeah. And Tula didn't really, she just came close and she sat down across from him and she just kind of looked at him like, thinking about it for a while. And they stayed like that for quite a bit. And then Martin took off around the couch and Tula like sat there at the corner, almost like, okay, is he going to come around? Am I going to, are we going to play?
They're getting closer and closer to being able to actually play with each other.
Yes,
so I think some more time, we still have a bunch more time left here in the apartment. So more time. And I think they're going to be the best of friends. Maybe not, like people see snuggly cats together. I don't think they're ever going to be snuggly cats together, but I do think they're going to be able to get along a lot better. So Martin is just over 2 years old, and I adopted him from our local animal shelter. So he was just a little fluffy kitten. And as soon as I saw him and I saw his name was Martin, I was like, he's mine. So I brought him in, and he was brought in as just one kitten. Normally they say get two, but I had just lost both of my other cats just before that. And I was like, let's just do one. Let's do one and see how it goes. So he has also lived the only child life where I'm his playmate. So,
and Tula is a COVID cat. When we were all quarantined in our homes for so long, and George, who's a nurse, was having to go to ER and work a lot with COVID patients and stuff. We had lost our Chihuahua, who was 15 years old, to cancer prior to that. And I really needed, someone to keep me company. And there weren't a lot of options for kittens during that time. And the only way you could see any of the kittens was to do like FaceTime. And there was just no way I was gonna, just pick a kitten that way. So I was going through like ads and stuff, and I found a breeder, and she's actually part Savannah cat and part Munchkin. And I'm like, oh, Savannah cats are beautiful. I really
high energy.
Yes. I didn't really research as much as I should have, I don't think. But anyways, we went and saw her, and we almost got her and her sister. We really thought about it when we were there. We almost said, how much for both of them. And then, we didn't end up doing it. So maybe it would have been better off if they did, because she was extremely rambunctious. But she's, she helped a lot during that time to keep me company. And it was very stressful with him working in the medical field about, what could happen to him and he could bring it home, things like that. So yeah, she filled in a big space there at a good time. But the biggest thing that we'll keep talking about over and over again is the fact that they have made this whole planning process probably 100% more difficult.
So much more difficult.
So much more difficult.
Because we can't just leave them.
No, absolutely not.
And I mean, with the exception of Jack, because Jack wouldn't be able to make the trip, we can't just leave them.
Right. I mean, I would feel, like, okay, this is not a necessary move that we're making. Like if it was, oh, we have to move, this is an emergency and the place we're going won't take cats, we're going to have to find really good homes for them, that would be a different story. But this is not. This is a choice that we made in our life, and we made commitments to our cats, to our animals, to our pets, that we would love them and take care of them. And it's not right to just expect after 5 years of having a cat or 2 years of having a cat or whatever it is that we're just going to take them somewhere else, unless it's really for their own good. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it's still been quite a process. We started it by taking them to a vet who does the USDA exams and talking to her about what the process is, because she's going to have to do an exam and then it has to go to the USDA and they're going to have to certify it and they're going to have to overnight it back to us. And that's all fine and dandy, except for the certificate cannot be more than 10 days old when we actually get
to Bangkok.
So when we get to Bangkok on the 14th of January, that still has to be good, which means it has to be issued no earlier than the
if it's the 14th, so the 4th
of January, which is a weekend, and right before New Year, or right after New Year. So yeah, we had a long discussion with the vet about that. She's pretty confident that everything's going to be fine.
She knew what she was talking about.
She did.
She has done it before, and I felt like we hadn't found a vet before that who had known anything about it. So we got really lucky. We found a very good vet.
Yeah, and then there's the whole, we're going to take a 4-hour flight from Chicago to Vancouver, and then the next day, 2 days later, we're going to jump on a plane for 16 hours with them, and that's also stressful thinking about all that. How are they going to do? They have to be in smaller crates than they would normally be because it has to sit under the seat. Then there's a whole nother process. Once we get to Bangkok, they have to be examined and go through, all their paperwork has to be gone through. So it's just, yeah, if it wasn't for them, we probably already would have left to go to, but
that's true.
Yeah, there's a long process to doing this for them. And so that really has held us back from actually, taking off much earlier.
But I can't leave without my baby.
That's right. You can't. Yeah. And since he originated the whole idea, even though he complains about them, he understands that, we're all a package deal. They came with us. And as a matter of fact, when we brought Tula over here to your house and we went back to the RV, he was like, is this bad? Because I really miss Tula.
Yeah.
So he can complain all he wants.
They claw their way into your hearts. They bite their way into your hearts.
I cheer you guys on for finding a way.
We're making it work.
Yep.
And that's the big thing.
Yep. All right. We'll see you again when we're going to be talking about finding a place to live.
Yeah.